I would like to open the meeting to the public. Is any member of the public like to come up and speak?
Wendy McCahill, Long Hill, Millington, whatever. I find it interesting that the three of you are talking about open communications as one of the bylines of your new government in town, but it's interesting to see that Mr. Collins and Mr. Genovese have been completely excluded from many of the new, innovative, wonderful things you're planning for Long Hill that really do require some significant discussion. And I find it appalling that you will not even discuss with them, but you claim to be communicators.
Thank you. Anybody else? By the way, that's not accurate. We did discuss, and I personally discussed it, these ideas, at least with Chris, and, you know, that's what we're here to do. Part of having open communications is to discuss it right here. And if they have discussions they want to undertake, that's what we're doing.
It was never discussed with me.
I didn't say I did. Sir.
Tom DeGennaro, Millington. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you, not only those who were elected, but the entire Township Committee. I thank you for your public service, which is a great work in life. There's been many first evenings like this in the past where everybody who sat where you're sitting now had good intentions and their hearts were filled with kindness. Unfortunately, that kindness, some of it anyway, was misdirected, misguided, which resulted in inflated payrolls and staffing. You now face an awesome challenge to correct some of the poor decisions that were made in the past. The key word, especially after seeing tonight's interaction, is reasonableness. You're not going to get anything done unless you're reasonable. Again, I congratulate everyone, especially the newly elected people. I ask you to stay focused and keep your campaign promises. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Bear, Millington. First, I'd like to commend the board, if I properly understand your decision, in taking the time to apply due diligence to the hiring of a chief financial officer, because the role of that person is so important in guiding the town, particularly given the agenda that you've set. The second issue is just simply a question. I may have missed it in this document. I did not see any name for the appointment of the planning and zoning administrator. Perhaps I missed it.
She's an employee. She's ongoing.
Okay, she's ongoing?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schleich?
I'm sorry I got here a little late. My name is Carl Schlegel. I'm in Sterling, New Jersey. I'm sorry I got here a little late. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you, Mayor Vitarera,
Thank you.
and you, Deputy Mayor Runio, and also Committeeman Briggs on your being sworn in tonight.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank you, former Mayor Genovese, for your service in the past year. And Chris, and Committeeman Chris, I'd like to thank you also for your service. I looked at the agenda. I didn't notice tonight that, I noticed in the newspaper it talked about the appointment of a webmaster. And I noticed that it's not on the agenda tonight. I don't know whether it will be discussed tonight. And I don't know whether the public will be allowed to have comment before the vote is taken on the webmaster. If you could answer that, then I could hold my remarks until the time that you are going to appoint a webmaster.
These matters will be taken up at the next Township Committee meeting, and certainly the public will be permitted to comment on it, of course.
Okay. The only reason that I raised the issue is that in light of the fact that it was a Republican board, the Township Committee was composed of 5 Republicans that appointed the previous webmaster, and it was a Republican Township Committee that removed the previous webmaster. And so therefore, it can't be for political reasons. It couldn't be, politics wasn't the issue. And in light of the fact of certain things that have now come out in the newspaper and in the report of the investigation for Long Hill Township, and also in light of your promise to have open government, I think that if the appointment is made of the former webmaster to the same position again, I think that it's only fair that in the best interest of the public and the interest of being open, that the minutes of the 2003 Township Committee meeting in which the former the former webmaster was removed, be entered into open public discussion, and that anyone be allowed to come forward and be able to comment on what happened at that time, or what they know of what happened at that time, in the best interest of the public, so that no cloud of suspicion remains over or would come over this particular administration. And furthermore, I think it's only fair because in that way, it also gives the opportunity to, the individual, the former webmaster, to respond to the allegations and to address them so that the public, if it can be done, and if he can respond to those, the reason for the removal prior, then it would eliminate any suspicion whatsoever. But I know for myself, I would have difficulty in trusting the integrity of correspondence to the Township Committee or to department heads if I knew, especially through the email system, if I knew that the webmaster was able to access those emails. So I hope that when that comes, we will be able to discuss it at that particular point in time.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak? Mr.
Steve
Kesselmeyer?
Kesselmeyer, I'm president of Long Hill Township Fraternal Honor Police. Just a clarification on the ordinance 070330 or 030.
Yep.
All the contractual salaries are going through as scheduled? I was in the back of it.
Yes.
See, that's exactly my
Okay.
point. We shouldn't, and it was one of my concerns last year when we took this up. The idea is that we shouldn't be voting on those in
Right.
the sense that our attorney advised us.
Right. I just wanted to make
Because
sure.
they're contractual, and we're obligated to pay those. As far as I'm concerned, these are contractual obligations, and we're going to fulfill them.
Agreed.
And they have been approved by the salary ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mayor, my understanding is that each year I have the same argument. I completely agree with you. My understanding is the only reason that's ever put on resolution is so the public can see it.
Okay.
Because prior to that, it's just on the contract that they voted on in 2003, but I completely concur that there's no sense voting on things that you really have no authority to change at this point.
Well, I like that idea. I think we certainly should disclose all the salaries of township employees because it is a public issue. So we'll have a form to do that when we. Start upgrading our website. Hopefully, thank you. Any other comments, Mr. Hamilton?
Len Hamilton from Myersville. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Aronio and Mr. Briggs on their appointment and new positions. And I know that some of the procedural things are probably a little bit different for an organizational meeting than for a regular meeting, but for things as important as broad-scale communication systems and how we are going to handle the municipal budget, I think they should be done in a forum where the public has the opportunity to speak on each of those issues. Thank you.
Oh, I agree entirely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Last chance.